When it comes to achieving clear, healthy skin, the very first thing we need to understand is our skin itself, because every face is unique and every pore has its own story. Too often, people assume that all blackheads or clogged pores are created equal, and they end up treating their skin the same way week after week without real results. But the truth is, your skin type, your pore size, and even the way your skin reacts to the environment all play a huge role in how these problems develop and how they should be treated. Some people naturally have smaller, tighter pores that are less prone to clogging, while others have larger pores that are more vulnerable to buildup. Oily skin tends to produce more sebum, which can mix with dead skin cells and environmental debris to form those stubborn blackheads that just won't go away. Dry or sensitive skin, on the other hand, might not produce as much oil, but it can still suffer from clogged pores if the natural exfoliation process isn't functioning properly. Understanding where your skin falls on this spectrum is the first step to creating an approach that actually works. It's also important to realize that not all blackheads are the same. A blackhead is a clogged pore, yes, but the appearance, size, and severity can vary widely. Some blackheads are superficial and respond quickly to a gentle cleanse or exfoliation. Others are deeper, rooted in the pore, and they require a more careful, methodical approach to prevent scarring or irritation. The skin's texture, thickness, and oil production all influence how these blackheads form. For instance, thicker skin may handle stronger extraction techniques better, whereas thinner, more delicate skin needs a gentler touch. And that's why a one-size-fits-all approach often fails. It doesn't take into account the individual characteristics of each person's skin. Another factor that people often overlook is the way pores themselves behave. Pores are not static. They respond to genetics, age, diet, environment, and even stress. Over time, pores can enlarge or become more prone to clogging. And while you can't change your genetics, you absolutely can influence how healthy your pores remain through proper care and consistent attention. Recognizing that pores are living, reactive structures rather than just tiny holes in the skin changes the mindset entirely. Instead of treating clogged pores as a cosmetic nuisance, you start thinking about them as indicators of your skin's overall health. And that perspective completely changes the way you approach cleansing and maintenance. People often rush straight to the removal process without preparing the skin properly. And that's where mistakes happen. When you know your skin type, you can choose the right methods to prevent irritation while still effectively clearing out buildup. For someone with oily, acne-prone skin, that might mean incorporating salicylic acid into a routine to gently dissolve debris inside the pores. For someone with sensitive or dry skin, it could mean focusing on hydration and barrier support before any extraction so that the pores respond without trauma. And for all skin types, understanding how often the pores are naturally shedding dead cells and producing oil informs how frequently a deeper cleansing session should occur. This knowledge prevents over-cleansing, which ironically can make pores more congested, more inflamed, and more likely to form blackheads in the first place. The key takeaway is that healthy, clear skin starts long before you touch a cleanser or pick up an extraction tool. It begins with awareness, knowing your skin's type, your pore behavior, and your individual tendencies. When you approach blackhead removal from this informed perspective, everything else becomes easier. The products you choose, the techniques you use, and the consistency of your routine all fall into place naturally. You're no longer fighting your skin, you're working with it, respecting its needs and rhythms. That is what separates short-lived results from lasting transformation. By taking the time to really understand your skin and the pores that define its texture, you lay a foundation that makes every next step, prepping, cleansing, extracting, and maintaining, far more effective and far safer. Once you grasp these basics, you can stop guessing and start creating a routine that genuinely promotes clear, healthy, glowing skin that lasts. Your skin has been trying to tell you how it works all along, and once you listen carefully, the path to clean, balanced pores becomes not just possible, but inevitable. Once you really understand your skin and the way your pores behave, the next crucial step is preparing your skin before any deep cleanse. It might sound simple, but preparation is what separates a safe, effective facial from one that causes irritation, redness, or even scarring. People often think that cleansing is just about washing the surface of the skin, but true deep cleansing starts with creating the right environment for your pores to open and release impurities naturally. Think of it like loosening the soil before planting seeds. If you try to work with hard, compacted dirt, nothing grows. Your skin works the same way. The first and most basic step in preparation is gentle cleansing. You want to remove surface dirt, makeup, and excess oil without stripping the skin its natural protective barrier. Using a mild pH-balanced cleanser suited to your skin type is key. For oily or combination skin, a cleanser with salicylic acid can help dissolve surface oil and break up early clogging. For dry or sensitive skin, a hydrating cleanser with soothing ingredients ensures you're not aggravating the pores or leaving the skin vulnerable. Cleansing doesn't just clean, it primes the skin for the next steps. It creates a smooth, receptive surface that allows deeper treatments to be more effective. Once the surface is clean, the next step is opening the pores. Warmth is your friend here, and the simplest method is a facial steam. Steam softens the top layer of dead skin cells and loosens debris inside the pores, making extraction safer and less traumatic. But it's important to do this correctly. Too much heat can inflame sensitive skin or make oily skin produce even more sebum. The ideal approach is a gentle, controlled steam for a few minutes, just enough to relax the pores and prepare them for treatment. Some people prefer warm towels applied to the face if steam isn't available, and that works just as well. The goal is the same: to create an environment where the pores are open and ready for cleansing without causing unnecessary stress to the skin. Exfoliation is another key part of preparation. Many people think of exfoliation as aggressive scrubbing, but gentle chemical exfoliants are often the safest and most effective option. Ingredients like alpha hydroxy acids or beta hydroxy acids work by dissolving the bonds between dead skin cells, allowing them to slough away naturally. This not only helps prevent new blackheads from forming, but also ensures that the deeper cleansing steps are more effective. Physical scrubs can work too, but only if they are used carefully and sparingly. Over-exfoliation can create micro tears in the skin and worsen pore congestion rather than help it. Hydration and barrier support are often overlooked in the preparation stage, but they're just as important. Even oily skin needs moisture, and well-hydrated skin responds better to extraction and cleansing. Applying a lightweight, soothing serum or moisturizer before a deep cleanse can protect the skin and maintain balance. This step may feel counterintuitive if your goal is to remove oil and impurities, but skipping hydration can lead to increased oil production, irritation, and post-cleansing inflammation. Preparation is not just about loosening debris, it's about creating a calm, resilient skin environment where the pores can release what they need to release safely. Finally, preparation is also a mindset. Too often, people rush straight into extraction or mask treatments without respecting the skin's rhythm. Taking the time to cleanse, steam, exfoliate gently, and hydrate creates a ritual that signals to your skin that it's being cared for properly. This is where patience pays off. Pores don't clear overnight, and forcing the process can do more harm than good. By preparing carefully, you ensure that every following step, from blackhead removal to post-cleanse care, works efficiently and safely. The biggest mistake is thinking that preparation is optional. Skipping these steps might seem harmless, but it sets the stage for irritation, redness, and even worsening congestion. When you take the time to properly prep, you're not only making blackhead removal more effective, you're also protecting the skin's health for the long term. Preparation makes the difference between a deep cleanse that works and one that just scratches the surface. Proper skin preparation is the foundation of every successful deep cleansing session, and when you master it, the results speak for themselves. The skin becomes more responsive, extractions become safer, and you're setting yourself up for clear, healthy pores that are easier to maintain over time. Once your skin is properly prepped, the moment comes for the step that most people either fear or rush through: extraction. This is where a deep cleanse truly begins to make a difference, but it's also where care and technique matter more than anything else. Extraction isn't about force or brute strength, it's about precision, patience, and understanding your skin's unique response. Too often, people grab at blackheads, squeeze aggressively, and walk away thinking they've solved the problem. In reality, that approach often leads to irritation, broken capillaries, scarring, or even infection. Doing it right transforms the skin, and doing it wrong can undo all the prep work you've just carefully done. The first thing to know is that not all blackheads are created equal, and not all extraction methods will work for every pore. Some are superficial, sitting near the surface, and they respond well to gentle pressure with clean hands or a soft, sanitized tool. Others are deeper and require more controlled techniques, sometimes only achievable in a professional setting. Recognizing the type and location of the blackhead is key. If the skin feels tender, inflamed, or unusually thick, forcing the extraction will only create more problems. Listening to your skin is just as important as the tools you use. Speaking of tools, proper equipment can make all the difference. A simple, clean comedone extractor can help remove impurities safely when used correctly, but it's not magic. The tool should be sterilized, applied gently, and used with minimal pressure. Many people also use soft silicone suction devices that lift debris without compressing the surrounding tissue. These can be particularly useful for stubborn blackheads on the nose or chin. And of course, for those who struggle with deeper congestion, professional facials and dermatologist-led extractions remain the gold standard. The lesson here is that tools amplify technique. They don't replace it. Skill and care are what prevent damage and promote long-term pore health. The technique itself is just as important as the tools. Gentle, steady pressure applied in the right direction encourages the pore to release its contents without trauma. Rushing or twisting motions can stretch the skin and create micro tears, leaving the area vulnerable to infection and post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. For deeper blackheads, sometimes indirect methods like applying a targeted exfoliant or clay mask to soften the pore before extraction are far more effective than immediate manual pressure. The key is to facilitate the pore's natural release rather than force it. This mindset shifts extraction from a potentially harmful practice to a carefully guided step in a larger cleansing routine. Hygiene cannot be overstated. Hands, tools, and the surrounding workspace should be meticulously clean. Any bacteria introduced during extraction can turn a minor blackhead into an inflamed blemish or cyst. Many people underestimate this aspect, but it's as critical as the technique itself. The skin may be ready and the tools may be perfect, but without proper hygiene, you're inviting problems. Think of extraction like surgery at a micro level. The principles are the same: cleanliness, precision, and respect for the tissue you're working with. Extraction also requires knowing when to stop. Not every blackhead needs to be removed immediately, and not every pore will cooperate on the first attempt. Trying to clear everything at once can overwhelm the skin, cause swelling, and trigger overproduction of oil as a defense mechanism. By approaching extraction gradually, treating one area at a time, and respecting the skin's tolerance, you create a balance between effective cleansing and long-term skin health. Over time, this approach prevents recurring congestion and keeps pores functioning optimally. Finally, extraction isn't an isolated step. It's part of a continuum that begins with preparation and ends with post-cleanse care. When performed correctly, extraction allows the skin to breathe, reduces inflammation, and improves the effectiveness of subsequent treatments like hydrating serums or pore tightening masks. When done improperly, it can undo all previous steps, inflame the skin, and set the stage for future congestion. Mastering extraction is about patience, precision, and respect for the skin's natural processes. Doing extraction the right way transforms the experience from a stressful chore into a rejuvenating step that visibly clears the skin while protecting its health. It's the moment when preparation meets action, and when done thoughtfully, it sets the stage for smoother, healthier pores that stay clear longer and respond better to ongoing care. Once we've prepared the skin and carefully performed extraction, the next critical element of a truly effective deep cleanse is the choice of products and ingredients. This step is where knowledge becomes power, because not every cleanser, mask, or treatment is created equal. The products you use don't just sit on the surface, they interact with the pores, the oils, the dead skin cells, and even the bacteria that naturally live on your skin. Choosing the right formulations is essential for maintaining pore health while continuing to clear congestion without causing irritation. Too often, people rely on harsh scrubs or strong chemicals in an attempt to speed up results. But this approach can backfire, leaving the skin inflamed and more prone to blackheads. Understanding the role of each ingredient and how it works with your skin type changes the entire approach to deep cleansing. One of the most effective classes of ingredients for deep cleansing are chemical exfoliants. Salicylic acid, for instance, is a beta-hydroxy acid that penetrates deep into the pore to dissolve the buildup of sebum and dead skin cells. Unlike surface scrubs that only touch the top layer, salicylic acid works inside the pore, helping prevent new blackheads from forming and reducing the risk of inflammation. Glycolic acid and other alpha-hydroxy acids are also powerful allies. They gently remove dead skin cells from the surface, improve cell turnover, and leave the skin smoother, making it easier for pores to breathe. The key is consistent, careful use. Overuse can strip the skin of its natural barrier, but used thoughtfully, these ingredients create a foundation for clear, healthy pores. Clay masks are another essential tool in a deep cleansing routine. Different types of clay, like bentonite or kaolin, have a unique ability to absorb excess oil and draw impurities to the surface. They act almost like a magnet for debris within the pores, lifting it away without harsh mechanical pressure. Clay masks also calm inflammation and improve circulation, helping the skin recover after extraction. They're particularly effective for oily and combination skin types, but even dry or sensitive skin can benefit if the mask is applied carefully and rinsed thoroughly. Think of them not just as a cleansing step, but as a way to balance and restore the skin's natural rhythm. Charcoal-based products also deserve attention. Activated charcoal binds to dirt, oil, and toxins, helping remove them from the surface and within pores. This ingredient can be especially useful for people living in urban environments where environmental pollutants contribute to pore congestion. The important thing is to use it in moderation and ensure it's part of a larger routine that includes hydration and soothing ingredients. Charcoal is excellent at drawing out impurities, but it can be drying if overused, so pairing it with a nourishing post-mask treatment is essential for maintaining healthy skin. Another often overlooked but critical element is hydration. After extraction and cleansing, the skin can be vulnerable, and using products that restore moisture helps prevent overproduction of oil, which often leads to new blackheads. Lightweight, non-comedogenic moisturizers or serums with soothing ingredients like hyaluronic acid, niacinamide, or aloe vera help support the skin's barrier, reduce inflammation, and keep pores functioning properly. Hydration is not optional. It's an essential part of preventing the very problems you've just worked so hard to remove. Consistency is what ties all these products together. One-off deep cleanses can give a temporary sense of clarity, but lasting results come from a routine that uses the right products at the right times. Cleansing should be thorough but gentle, masks should be targeted yet not overdone, and exfoliants should complement rather than replace hydration and barrier support. This careful balance ensures that pores remain open, clear, and healthy, reducing the likelihood of blackheads returning. The choice of products also connects directly to your individual skin type and needs. Oily skin responds well to salicylic acid and clay. Sensitive skin benefits from gentle hydration and soothing formulations, and combination skin requires a strategic mix that treats each area appropriately. By matching products to your skin's behavior and observing how it responds, you can fine-tune a routine that is both effective and sustainable. When used thoughtfully, the right products do more than remove impurities. They protect, balance, and support the skin while amplifying the results of preparation and extraction. Every ingredient has a role, every application matters, and every routine can be optimized to maintain pore health long after the deep cleanse is finished. Selecting the right cleansing and detoxifying products is the step that transforms short-term improvements into long-term skin health, giving you control over your pores rather than leaving you at the mercy of recurring blackheads. Once the deep cleansing and extraction are complete, the work doesn't stop there. In fact, the steps that follow are just as important as the cleansing itself, because post-cleanse care determines how healthy your pores remain and whether the improvements you've worked for will last. People often overlook this stage, thinking that once the blackheads are gone, the job is done. But the truth is, your skin is vulnerable immediately after deep cleansing. The pores have been opened, impurities removed, and the skin's natural barrier can be temporarily compromised. This is the moment when proper care prevents irritation, redness, and new congestion from forming. The first thing to focus on is soothing and calming the skin. After extractions or a deep pore cleanse, the skin may feel sensitive, tight, or slightly inflamed. Using a gentle toner or calming serum helps restore balance and signals to your skin that it's time to relax and repair. Ingredients like chamomile, aloe vera, green tea extract, or niacinamide are particularly effective because they reduce inflammation, calm redness, and strengthen the skin barrier. Applying these products immediately after cleansing ensures that the skin recovers faster, minimizing the risk of post-procedure irritation. It also reinforces the benefits of all the work you've just done, helping the pores remain open and healthy without overreacting. Hydration is equally critical at this stage. Even if you have oily skin, moisturizing after a deep cleanse is not optional, it's essential. Well-hydrated skin maintains a balanced oil production cycle, preventing the pores from overcompensating by producing excess sebum, which is often the root cause of recurring blackheads. Lightweight, non-comedogenic moisturizers or serums that include hyaluronic acid or squalane are perfect choices because they replenish moisture without clogging pores. Hydration also enhances skin elasticity, making the pores appear smaller and reducing the likelihood of debris building up in the future. Skipping this step can undo the cleansing you've done and leave the skin more prone to congestion and irritation. Sun protection is another crucial component that many people underestimate. After a deep cleanse, the skin is more sensitive to UV rays, and exposure can increase inflammation, accelerate pigmentation, and even weaken the skin barrier. Using a broad-spectrum sunscreen, even if you're indoors, helps protect the skin while it's in its most vulnerable state. This step not only prevents long-term damage, but also ensures that the pores stay healthier for longer periods, reducing the chance of blackheads returning. It's an often overlooked but absolutely vital part of maintaining the results of a deep cleanse. Consistency in post-cleanse care is what ties everything together. One-off treatments might give the skin a temporary glow, but long-lasting pore health comes from integrating soothing, hydrating, and protective steps into a routine. Gentle toning, calming serums, proper hydration, and sun protection become habits that reinforce the improvements achieved through cleansing and extraction. Over time, your skin learns to respond positively, and the pores maintain their balance naturally. Another important aspect of post-cleanse care is listening to your skin. After a deep cleanse, you may notice areas that are more sensitive or prone to inflammation. Avoid aggressive scrubs, harsh acids, or heavy oils on these spots for a few days. Instead, focus on repairing the skin's barrier and allowing it to recover fully. By observing and responding to what your skin needs, you not only protect it, but also create a feedback loop that improves the effectiveness of future deep cleanses. Post-cleanse care also includes small but impactful habits like keeping hands clean, avoiding touching the face unnecessarily, and maintaining clean pillowcases and towels. These steps reduce the introduction of bacteria to freshly cleansed pores, helping prevent future breakouts and blackheads. Simple routines like this might seem minor, but when combined with proper hydrating and soothing care, they make a profound difference in maintaining long-term skin health. The ultimate goal of post-cleanse care is to create an environment in which the skin can thrive. When the pores are calm, hydrated, and protected, they function properly, remain clear, and respond more effectively to ongoing care. The difference between a deep cleanse that works for a few days and one that sets the stage for lasting clarity lies entirely in what you do afterward. By dedicating attention to this step, you ensure that your efforts are reinforced and that your skin stays healthy, balanced, and resilient. Consistent, thoughtful post-cleanse care transforms temporary improvements into lasting results, protecting your pores, enhancing the benefits of every prior step, and keeping your skin in a state where blackheads are less likely to return. Once you've prepared your skin, performed extractions carefully, used the right products, and followed proper post-cleanse care, the final and perhaps most important step is establishing a routine that keeps your pores clear long after any single deep cleanse. Many people treat a deep cleanse like a one-off event, something to fix a problem in a single session, and then go back to their usual habits. That's why blackheads keep coming back, and why people feel frustrated no matter how thorough their efforts seemed in the moment. Real, lasting results come from consistency, from creating a routine that respects your skin's natural rhythms while reinforcing everything you've learned about preparation, extraction, and care. The first thing to understand is that over-cleansing can be just as harmful as neglecting the skin. Pores and sebaceous glands are reactive. If you strip too much oil or disrupt the skin barrier, the skin will respond by producing more oil, and that can lead to more blackheads and breakouts. On the other hand, under-cleansing allows dirt, oil, and dead skin cells to build up and clog pores. The key is balance. Your routine should match your skin type and lifestyle. For oily or combination skin, cleansing twice a day with a gentle, effective cleanser is usually sufficient, while dry or sensitive skin often benefits from once daily cleansing paired with a soothing moisturizer. Learning to listen to your skin and adjusting your routine based on its needs is essential. Exfoliation should be incorporated carefully and strategically. Regular but gentle exfoliation prevents the buildup of dead skin cells that can clog pores, but it must be balanced so the skin barrier remains intact. Chemical exfoliants like salicylic acid or lactic acid used a few times a week are often ideal, while physical scrubs should be used sparingly or avoided altogether if the skin is sensitive. The goal is to maintain smooth, clear skin without provoking irritation or micro tears, which can create more problems than they solve. A routine that thoughtfully integrates exfoliation ensures that pores stay open and functional while preparing the skin to respond better to all other treatments. Masks and treatments also have their place in a sustainable routine. Clay or charcoal masks can be used weekly to draw out impurities and manage oil production, but they should complement, not replace, daily cleansing and hydration. Treatments like serums containing niacinamide or antioxidants can enhance barrier function, reduce inflammation, and help regulate sebum production. A well-planned routine combines these elements in a rhythm that the skin can adapt to, gradually improving its resilience and minimizing the recurrence of blackheads. Hydration and barrier protection remain non-negotiable in a long-term routine. Moisturizers suited to your skin type, applied consistently, keep the pores functioning properly, prevent overproduction of oil, and reduce sensitivity. Even oily skin needs hydration, but the key is choosing non-comedogenic, lightweight formulations that absorb well and don't clog pores. Sunscreen every day is another essential habit that cannot be skipped. It protects the skin from UV damage, prevents post-inflammatory pigmentation, and supports overall skin health, making the results of your deep cleansing efforts last longer. Another cornerstone of a sustainable routine is adaptability. Skin is not static. It changes with seasons, diet, stress levels, hormonal cycles, and even the environment. A routine that worked perfectly last month might need adjustment today. Being observant, noting how the skin reacts to different products, and tweaking the routine accordingly is what separates a temporary improvement from a lifelong solution. Sustainable skincare is not rigid, it's responsive. It requires understanding what your skin needs at each moment and giving it exactly that, no more and no less. The mental aspect of a routine is just as important. Approaching skincare as a consistent, deliberate practice rather than a frantic fix builds habits that support healthy pores over time. The difference between temporary clarity and lasting results is commitment, not luck. By creating a sequence of cleansing, targeted treatment, hydration, protection, and observation, you train the skin to maintain balance and prevent congestion naturally. Each step reinforces the others, creating a cycle that keeps pores clean, reduces blackheads, and leaves the skin resilient and healthy. A sustainable routine is ultimately the bridge between occasional deep cleanses and permanent improvement. It transforms skincare from a reactive process into a proactive lifestyle. When practiced thoughtfully and consistently, it ensures that the results of all your careful preparation, extraction, product use, and post-care efforts don't just last a few days, they endure, giving you clear, healthy, and balanced skin that looks and feels its best every day. Consistency, balance, and awareness are what make a skincare routine truly effective. And when these principles are applied with care, clear, healthy pores become the natural, lasting outcome.